Hello and welcome back to Adventure's Edge, Heroes of the Vale, episode 20. Wait, what did I just say? 24.
24.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was literally just, that's how my brain is already. I'm already just like hopped
You passed
up.
it. Yeah.
Past it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. How are you guys doing?
I don't know. I feel like we're starting to fit this Heroes of the Vale part of the Heroes of Vale. You know, like I'm feeling a little bit more proactive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because when you're just going from one place to another, trying to solve a problem, you're getting little ins and out. But really, no, this is a big deal. So I think we can finally get a hero label.
You're feeling heroic.
I am.
Amazing what that level will do.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Oh, the difference a level can make. And you guys.
Second level spells, you mean?
You guys showed that difference last time. I honestly had tremendous trepidation going into that.
Yeah, when you immediately critically hit the fighter.
Oh my gosh.
That I was just like, oh man.
Ooh.
Sweet. I mean, but, you know, it happens.
It does. It does happen.
But then Trunk came in with the big old heel.
The sweet heel.
And he's like, oh, that was bad. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, like, I'm
All
only
right.
down 3 hit points.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool.
And I was worried about the quarrel still being in me, but apparently there, by some gross magic, it just like popped out.
Yeah, I didn't want to get too much into that. I do have like in the equipment list, there's like barbed heads and things, but that wasn't the case here.
You know,
Sure.
they're just sitting around the fire, whittling.
Yeah, it was not a fancy crossbow bolt.
Whittling.
When I was your age.
We had to whittle our own quarrels.
Yeah. So last time I hijacked the intro and we, just to kind of like really get us in, get us going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do we need something? You guys it was an amazing fight.
I think.
I feel
I'd
we
like to hear-
literally just recapped the entire thing by talking about the
Yeah.
We did.
I don't know. Zinnia, do you have any thoughts?
Well, basically, we burst in, and then there was some attacking on both sides, and Unda was freed, and then Trunk picked up Unda and escorted her out, and now we are making a strategic retreat.
A strategic
Yeah.
retreat.
I do notice a very confused Zinnia. You just look like you're something in the back of your head.
Oh,
You're very kind of confused.
There are I have some big questions, but they will have to wait
will.
until we are, until we have safely exited this chaos.
Which we will, I'm sure.
I don't know if we're going to get out of here this session or not, but let's rush into it and let's see what we can accomplish in the next 60 minutes or so. When we left off, it was the goblin's turn. Rocks had just fallen from the ceiling, causing some chaos, battering the mounted goblin and the other dire wolf and some other people off the screen. Zinni had just clutched like that snow flurry, that snowball thing. That was pretty awesome.
A lot of damage.
Yeah, it was a lot of damage. But perhaps it is time for the goblins to strike back. So we're going to start off with the goblin that you can, in fact, see. Poor, unfortunate strong arm at 0 hit points and still with one more round to go on the, what was that horrible stone? I don't remember. It was like...
That was called Binding Earth.
Binding Earth.
In my own head, we call it the Lego curse.
Stepping on Legos. Or a D4.
So I'm just imagining, I mean, he's not feeling great. You know, his best buddy Beard is lying dead on the ground. He sees everybody being pelted. He sees Zinnia like turning to fly away.
Especially if he just woke up from a nap. If he was sleeping and then he gets up and this happens.
But he knows that, I mean, he's got to fight for the chief. So he is just going to take that step reaching out to grab Zinnia as one last bit of stone Lego does 5 points of damage. And what I have to imagine is that he steps on that point, and then he falls like face first on one of those spikes. And it just horrible. And he's...
Wow.
I just look at him like, he was 15 feet in the air. What did he think was going to happen?
Yeah, exactly.
He was,
Yeah.
Earth just swallows him.
Like at a certain point, I believe that you like love your chief and whatnot, but go take a nap.
Go take... Well, he is. A long
There's
dirt
something
nap.
to be said about loyalty.
Okay. I may put the little X on him. X marks the spot on his forehead. All right, so he's dead. And then the rest begins to happen here. All right, so we're going to start off with my crossbow person. I mean, you guys are kind of fleeing. He's going to actually start climbing down and drawing a melee weapon and coming into sight. But he's not going to get very far at all because he's discovering the ground everywhere is just covered with debris.
Does anybody ever twist their ankles?
I twist my ankle just by walking sometimes.
Well, I know, but it seems like we've got difficult terrain, and
Right.
that
Or
never-
they're barefoot, right? I mean, goblins are barefoot, or they wear boots.
I think we were boots.
They wear boots, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
yeah.
if I were walking on difficult terrain, I think I would like constantly be twisting my ankle.
Right.
I don't know how this never
Stubbing toes,
happens.
Yeah.
I assume all the middle-aged goblins are in a different area of the
Yeah.
cabinet, but they're like, oh,
They've been
I heard
through
myself
and
waking up.
They've been through difficult terrain before.
The youngins
I
will take
think-
care of this.
I think Trunk just called me old.
Oh,
That's what I just heard.
I mean, we're probably in the same neck of the woods, and I'm...
do fairies
In
even
agony,
understand
I
the
think.
concept page?
I'm just gonna pull my cardigan a little closer.
Okay. You actually would see some people beginning to appear over here. I'm just going to kind of open this section up because they're bringing a light with them.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're very thoughtful.
I know. Like,
Yeah. Coming from the north side of the room are 3 more goblins, all armed. One of them holding a lantern. You see another one coming out from the west side of the room, also armed with a huge cleaver. And coming now out of the east side of the room, you see even more goblins. And the chief has entered the field. Grovelbeak. It's a towering goblin at 5 feet tall with a goat skull helm that must be the sign of his leadership on his face, with a wicked looking great club. He comes charging out from here, just Zinnia. So he appears out of the darkness about 20 feet east of you, and you see that begin to illuminate as more lights appear. And his club is actually glowing like a torch. You're pretty sure that it's got light cast on it. Okay, and then behind him, you see another goblin hanging back ever so slightly. So, lots of new goblins have entered the field. Their turn, all of those people's turns was their movements, getting into the map. They were busy getting geared up. And the difficult terrain has definitely slowed lots of people. So the ones that we're going to be able to get potentially into melee here, we've got our 2 dire wolves who got pelted, but are not deterred. So this first one is going to try to get out of it and is going to run up to Trunk.
Mhm.
And he's going to attack you. Now that triggers Sanctuary, so he has to make another save.
We'll save.
A will save. All right. That's a natty 2. So he's just falls up short, biting ineffectually around the sanctuary, protecting you. All right. Then the other mounted one is, you're the kind of the bastion there. You're holding up the rear. So
Almost like that was like
As someone with sanctuary would have.
yeah, he's actually not really understanding the situation. Also charges up. So these two towering wolves, like just bristling and snarling, are pretty much next to each other, facing off against Trunk. The wolf is going to bite at you. Oh, not notoriously high will saves, but let's see what. I rolled a 16 on the die. What is the will save of my nasty creature?
-5. -5.
Dire wolves have a +2, so that is an 18. What is your
they are pretty
DC?
smart.
Should be 10 plus level of spell plus your spell stat.
I'm sure it's not going to be that.
It's
So,
impossible to get that unless you have bonus.
yeah, 14.
Okay, so he presses through your sanctuary and attempts to bite you now. Do you still have your iron skin?
I sure do.
It's a big, big jaw on this creature. That is going to be only, though, a 19.
That is going to get a tingly, metally taste and no damage.
So, you've put up some good defenses. All right, so the rider on that wolf still has his bow out. And he sees, you're holding the ferry. So he sees Nipper, Zinnia, Darun. He is going to take a shot at Darun as Darun is fleeing the scene here with his bow. Oh, now there's a natty night. So that's going to be a 23 to hit you.
Yes. Barely.
Barely. All right, so his little short horn bow. That is 7 damage, though.
Yeah, we're fine.
Whack. In the back. And that is the only people that get to attack this round. And there's still a lot of pressure, a lot of threat going on here. But we are now at the top of the round with Zinnia.
Gravelbeak, come alone to the giant statues if you want to negotiate.
Are you retreating then? So you've issued this
Arbitrary decision all on my own.
dictate,
Yes.
demand, or whatever to Gravelbeak.
Yeah.
And then you're going to, I can move. Are you going to?
Yeah, I'm moving.
You're moving. I'm not seeing you move. Oh, there it goes. All right. Technology. All right. So Zinnia darts ahead, going to the side passages. Now, are you turning your light back on?
I moved.
sorry.
I was
It's
in the
please
process
don't,
of.
no,
Yeah,
Nipper.
I'm doing it all. Yep. Yes, I will turn my light on as I enter the.
All right. So the
side
glowing
passage.
Zinnia and Nipper enter the side passage. Okay. Then Trunk, bringing up the rear, holding the guard against these two ominous wolves and the rider. You hear goblins pouring out everywhere. What are you going to do?
I'll just kind of shout to Tommy behind me and to Darun, get going. I'll be right behind you. And I guess I'll just move my initiative to like after Darun or something.
You can basically, what you can do is you can hold your,
All I'm planning on doing is like retreating after they're already in the corridor.
okay. So you can basically hold a move action until after they've moved. Then it is Tommy's turn.
This lever, how does it lever? Does it go down or towards the ledge or?
Are you saying is it a lever or a lever?
Yeah.
You would, it's like a, you would,
see
you
where
would,
it comes from, though.
you would
Yeah,
pull
I
it
got
like it's vertical and you would kind of pull it down towards the floor.
Okay.
Power
Okay.
switch.
Yeah.
So I've got some rope. So I'm going to tie it on the lever.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
Or lever, depending on
Right.
your pronunciation.
Well, you're
And-
English, so
And I do have enough rope. I do have 60 feet of rope. And once I tie it, I'm going to take the quick way down. I'm going to jump.
Oh, okay.
But I would like to, my plan, if you will, is to tie the rope, jump down, collect the rope, because I don't want to prematurely pull it, and then get into the beginning of the corridor, ready to pull the rope to activate the trap remotely.
Oh, okay. So that is a lot to accomplish. So basically what I'm imagining then is that what you could accomplish this round, you could use your, basically use your move action, pull your rope out, and then your standard action to tie it up.
Okay.
And then basically you're going to just take a 5-foot step off. You can just drop.
Because I can move, I can jump an infinite amount as long as it's down.
Okay. Yeah. So move. Yeah, that would work. So you tie it up and then you're just basically going to just step off.
Yes.
And then you're going to do a 30-foot fall to the floor.
Uh-huh.
And you can make an acrobatics check to reduce the damage from the first 10 feet.
Okay. Acrobatics. This is something Tommy's very good at.
Yeah.
Not at all. Oh, that's a 20 though.
That's really good.
So do I reduce the damage by 20? Is that how that works?
That is not how that works.
I know that's not how it works, but I thought maybe that was a good try.
Just checking.
Just
Make sure you're awake.
Try to slide that one through.
Yeah, let me grab real quick here there we go, falling. Yeah, actually, so DC 15 to avoid the first 10 feet.
Okay.
And I am doing a fixed damage system based on size instead of rolling. So you basically are going to take 3 points of damage per 10 feet. So you're going to take 6 points of damage
Okay.
from hitting the ground. And because you made your acrobatics, you are not going to be prone.
Awesome.
So the ankles hold. You're still young.
Can I do the Superman landing?
You can, absolutely.
Nice.
You guys remember being able to jump off the top of the roof?
Yeah.
And actually be okay?
Yeah, and not have
Always.
your knees just explode. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
To get out of my room, I'd climb out the window, jump from roof to my garage, and then jump from the garage to the floor. And now the idea of getting out of bed too fast is exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fell down 3 steps a couple weeks back, and I had to lay there.
To collect yourself.
Or I experienced the stunned condition. Like I knew exactly what was going on. And I was weakly calling out, and nobody could hear me.
I bent over to pick something up, and before I even touched it, I don't know how, I bent over and I hurt my thumb. I sprained it stretched it somehow. I just bent over to pick something up and I strained my thumb.
Middle age is fun.
Like life has improved in so many ways since the Middle Ages, but really everything after 30, when other people would just oh, well, this is when we're dead, right? It's like, why did we make this better for us?
Yeah. Our demographic is actually younger people,
Good.
surprisingly.
Welcome.
I know you can't relate to this yet, but it's for real.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's a good time when you stand up too quickly and then you have to steady yourself so you don't pass out.
We are just trying to prepare them
That's right.
so that they can really enjoy what they have now.
Yeah.
It's just
whenever you guys are like, I don't really like this game system rules restricting all of my movement. It's like middle-aged people
fits.
made this.
It really fits more often than this.
all right, Tommy, you hit the ground with a whoosh. So the coil of rope is by your feet, and that is your turn.
Okay.
That was pretty epic, I have to say. Darun.
So just because I've got spells, I'm going to use one. The wolf with the passenger.
Rider? Yeah.
I'm going to have you do a fortitude save. I'm going to try another binding earth on you.
At the wolf, okay?
Yeah. Because it has to be attached to the floor. It can't be on.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. And he's got it pretty good for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
No. You
they're
argued it.
beefy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to bail.
Okay, so you throw your spell out, and the wolf just takes it in stride, and then now you're
My little legs just it's pumping.
You get out your walking stick to go faster.
I'm gone.
okay. So everybody's on the ground.
I have Corda retreat.
Yeah. Quarter retreats.
Yeah, she can get ahead of me. Use it.
So Trunk is still. So this is like a
Sorry.
it's about 12 feet wide passage that with the southeast side of this huge cave where the party entered. Trunk is standing in the middle, literally doing the none shall pass. his best imitation. Tommy is 10 feet behind him with a rope and a trick up his sleeve. And everybody else has run out the side passage now.
With that, I get ready to like take my really long step back and get into the corridor and see Tommy just hanging there with a rope. What are you doing?
I've got an idea. It's great.
Now is runaway time, not idea time.
Tommy's brave.
Yeah, Tommy's got this.
Yeah, but things could still go horribly wrong. So the wolves, really, they might have run around you, but the guy on the wolf seems to be giving the commands, and you still have Unda, so that's what they really want. So both wolves are going to try attacking you again. So we'll do the one without the rider, and so he's going to make his will save against your negative. So just like snarling and chomping at the air, you're just nonplussed looking at him like foolish wolf. All right, the other guy, same thing. I rolled a 7 and an 8. They cannot get past your barrier. The rider is considering this. He sees this shimmering protective field around you. All he has now is he can see Tommy nearby. So he is going to take another shot at Tommy.
Okay.
That's really kind of his best option. No, that is going to be 13. So those are your immediate threats. Now we're going to go around the room here. This is where difficult terrain comes in. So this guy is going to put away. He's switched out his crossbow. There's the one that was shooting at you guys from the darkness. He's pulled out a sword. But he can only go then basically 30 feet total doing a double move. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's his action. And this, Darun, that really made a big difference on how quickly. This guy's same thing. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Running across like, ow.
Darun knows what it feels like to only be able to go 15 feet per move.
All right. So these, the three that have come out from the north side, they see this mess. So they're going to have to circle around. So they will do double moves. All right. So they're going to come running around that side. Okay. That's those guys. And then we have the chief and his lovely bride are coming out here from the east side. So.
Wait, is it really his bride?
It is. Yeah.
Oh.
She insisted that she go with him.
Mm.
We do everything together, including fighting off invaders.
Well, that seems fair.
Yeah.
Okay, but this actually is getting pretty dangerous now. So he can, with his move, get up next to Trunk. So Trunk, you see this. Obviously he's not towering to you, but a muscular goblin come running around the corner, brandishing this large, like two-handed club, ornately carved. You see it glowing. And he is going to try to brain you.
I have clear thoughts of how I should have been at the entrance to this cavern this round.
So we'll save on Gravelbeak. You said it was DC
14, I think.
All right, so he gets it. Oh, but he still has to hit you, and you have an impressive AC right now. I was starting to wonder if old Gravelbeak was going to get a shot off. All right, so you watch it penetrate your barrier, and that's going to be a 20.
That misses.
Clink on your
metal skin.
Your metal skin. You probably feel the impact, and there's got to be that part of you that's appreciating the fact that, you're good, but you may not want to tangle with this guy too much.
I wasn't intending to.
All right, that is, I don't want to neglect anybody, but that is their turn. So, Zinnia, you're at the narrow entrance. right above Darun. You can look back and you see Trunk, getting surrounded. What do you do?
So how many of the goblins can I see right now?
So if you moved 5 foot back, you could see 4 goblins and 2 dire wolves.
Okay, I will actually move forward 10, and I will call out to Gravelbeak and say, "Call off your attackers, or there will be no negotiations." And then I will send a splintered spear at the goblin riding the...
Right, yeah, riding the dire wolf.
That's it.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Oh. Ooh, that's a 19. Feeling very diplomatic. That's a 26.
Okay.
I'm a very diplomatic fairy.
He hears your words, but at the same time, I'm just trying to consider his feelings towards the situation right now. All right, give me your splintered spear at the mounted goblin.
As an olive branch, I will attack one of your people.
And then that branch explodes.
That is a... Oh, are we still blessed?
Yes.
Yeah.
22.
That's a hit.
Oh, that's max damage. That's a 6 damage plus bleed.
Okay. So your magical spear materializes, flies out, and then just tears into Stinkfoot's flesh atop the dire wolf. And
then I'll move back 1 spot.
all right. Then Trunk.
I look behind. You guys are killing me here.
Just bail out of here, Trunk.
I'm waiting for you to go.
No, you just go.
I'm already in the passage.
So Trunk, make a perception check.
I've got this.
That is 18.
So you look back, you're kind of shouting or whatever you're telling Tommy to go, and you see him standing there. He's got a rope in his hand, and he apparently is planning some final hijink. So in that moment, you realize he's waiting for you. That's where you can make a decision. But you see that you have that moment where you guys lock eyes.
Mm-hmm. The good old Mexican standoff between party members.
Yeah. He's like...
Well, I wasn't going to get any further than this anyway in one round. So I'm exactly where I would have been
Tommy's
if
just
I
looking at
hadn't
him.
done this.
The rope's getting taut. He's just eyeballing him.
Okay, so you want me to leave first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that stare in his eyes is like, go.
I got this, bro.
Idiots. I will look over at Gravelbeak as I start to back away, and I'll just shrug. We moved Selvel to a different water anyway.
All right. He just that makes him angry. I'll have you and that fish and the ferry too.
Then do as Zinnia said, or you'll never find it. And I start to back away. They can all try to want to attack me if they want.
Yeah, so you can basically do it with withdraw.
I'm not. I'm like backing away from them. I'm not doing any special movement. So they'd get their attacks of opportunity. If
He's taunting them.
Oh, I see. Okay. That is
When one
I am
has
as
a high
protected as I
AC,
can
they
be
play the
right
game.
now.
all right. Warg 1 snaps fruitlessly. Warg 2,
Ooh.
he pushes through the barrier. Ooh, and that is a 25.
That'll hit.
Okay, Warg 2 gets a bite of the trunk. All right, where's my warg? Bitey. Luck has to run out, right? That is going to be... That is 10 damage.
Okay.
And he gets a free trip attack. So he's going to try to trip you. That is a 15 against your CMD.
Uh,
I would assume that's not going to do it, though, with your...
I would think no with the strength. Because it's strength plus dex plus your base attack bonus plus 10.
All right. While you're calculating math, I feel very confident that didn't.
yeah, I got a 16 on that.
All right. So Gravelbeak is going to be able to attack you, though. So he will get his little bash, but that's not going to hit. So one of the wolves gets a chomp out of you as you back away. So how far back are you going?
5. I mean, I guess I will go back to where Zinnia is.
I mean, you can double move, so...
I mean, I still have people in the way. And a small corridor and a big me. So there's only so much double move I can make.
So you can definitely move under Zinnia.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Well, I will move to that point and I will cast another sanctuary because I believe it will end at the start of my turn. So if I have to back away from things again, that may be an issue.
So that would be 30 feet. Okay. So you can move 30 feet and then cast Sanctuary again.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Tommy.
Okay. I would like to back away as well and kind of fill that spot. There's that little alcove, if you will.
Yep.
That outcropping. Just kind of hold my action to where I feel like if they'll get into that area there, then I'd like to pull the rope.
Okay. So basically you're moving and then you're readying an action to pull the rope when basically when people come into that space.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I can, because I imagine that it'll take everybody a little time to get through there. It's a narrow passage, and I know he's really big, so he's probably not, and he being Trunk, he's probably not moving very fast through there.
Okay. So I know exactly what you're trying to do. And so the way it's going to work, though, because it's the way it's turn-based, is people are going to start filling up here. Are you want to do it where you want the maximum number of people in that space? Or
the maximum amount or Gravelbeak. So if Gravelbeak goes first, then I'll pull it with just Gravelbeak in it.
Okay. That was the important question because I mean I was going to have him go first. Because at this point they're kind of deferring to him. So
yep.
Not because he didn't see your antics. So basically then okay, it's not his turn yet. It is David's turn.
So that shouldn't affect what you're doing here.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I am going to do another stone call, and I'm going to just draw a picture here.
Oh dear.
Just so I can kind of give you an idea of where, because I know what Tommy's doing. And so I'm basically going to try to have that radius there. So I might have to squat and look in between Trunk's legs. Because I got to see, it's a 100-foot range. I can probably see like at least here or something. I don't know. Basically, I want to put it there so the radius is like that of the stone call, the same thing. If that can work, you can let me know if that somehow does not.
I mean, it would be basically...
One more to the right should do it. There you go.
Like, is that there? Or
yep, no, you're perfect right there. And so... they get damage off of hand. 4 points of damage everybody in there takes. And it's rough terrain. And then Corda is going to double move up ahead, just making sure that the way is clear, Like she's going to go back just to make sure that there's nothing in the way to stop us from going there. And then I am going to make my movement back. And that is my turn.
Okay. So what's happened here is that...
So this would be... Next round, that's gone because it's 3 rounds.
Next round, the original one?
I don't know. Or if I can't do both of them, that would dispel, Like 3 rounds is the cast, and this is 3 rounds coming up here.
Okay. I am currently subtracting 4 from a lot of people here. So basically as stones fall, I mean, you just caught almost everybody.
It only rolled 4 points of damage. Yeah.
I know. That's
That would have been better.
You know, second rolls are.
It's okay.
still that's a mass damage, and again slows everybody
Yeah,
down.
I'm hoping that wasn't throwing you out too far because I imagine they're close enough. To
4
make
points
it-
is 4
I'm not
points.
worried about
Yeah.
it.
All right, so yeah, their entire main cave is now just rocks everywhere falling down. People are like starting to panic. The wolves are snarling. Gravelbeak, getting hit in the face. He's like trying to press forward because now he's got to go. That's 15 feet of difficult terrain
Mhm.
that he's got to get through, which actually completely just changed.
Well, I was hoping that would be not enough to where he
Yeah, exactly.
where he could be, and that was the whole point of
No, that was beautiful because now he has to go 5, 10, 15 feet through that, which now eats up a full move, which means that is preventing him from getting an attack.
But it's only 10 foot. That's only like a 10 foot, like the rock thing.
Well, yeah. So
That was my,
so basically he's going to be leading the charge through there.
And then I would pull it.
Yeah. And then you're going to basically pull it. So that's going to be the trigger. I love this so much. I think it's just going to work.
Does it rock?
Oh boy.
So
And roll.
you pull, you can hear that lever up there because I've mentioned everything is really, and they do a really great job about making things. So you yank that lever, you can hear like a crank, like way up there, that 30 feet up on that ledge, which basically is just a release. And there's a rope that was attached to that release that just goes whipping up. And there is this large net that now basically releases to the right side of the cavern a pile of rocks, a large pile of rocks.
They took their security for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Can all be used against them.
yeah. Yeah, so speaking of difficult terrain,
Mm-hmm.
all right, so I'm going to have to move this once over here so I can grab these boulders and drop those down onto our beloved.
What you don't see, because this is a podcast, is I'm cracking everybody up.
Yeah, we are struggling.
I've had to mute the mic a couple of times.
All right, so Gravelbeak is going to get a reflex save for half damage against all of these boulders now raining down on him. He rolls an 84. Oh, and I was worried that you guys were going to walk into this trap.
See, now he has an ironic name, Gravelbeak.
Oh,
You're really
Yeah.
pumping this up.
I think we all need to think, is there psychic damage in Pathfinder? Because
yeah.
I'm feeling
There
some.
is. Yeah, there is. If you'd like to take some, feel free.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's going to be 7, 9, 14, 18 points of damage to Gravelbeak's beak as he is just battered. Okay. That messed him up. Okay. Yeah, like really badly. So he's just like, you just see him stumbling through. The dust is coming up from the ground, Lego feet. He's like, and then it's just all over his head. People are screaming. His goblins are falling all around him. They're going to have to start making some morale checks here. All right, so that is Gravelbeak. And then that area, that space around him is now also difficult terrain from all of these rocks.
How difficult is triple difficult terrain?
Oh, gosh. And then, all right, so now we've got the guy here on the rider who is now bleeding. So we're going to start off by him squirting blood from the, let's see. Yeah, from Zinnia's horrifying splintered spear. And, I mean, I don't know. They're going to try to get past. Well, he comes up. I don't see them really getting past Gravelbeak right now. There's just too much going on. The wolves are probably freaking out. I think what's happening here is that this is just going to be a chaotic bottleneck this turn because Gravelbeak is probably like knocked to his knees while he's trying to recover. And you guys, so they're all just going to basically group up behind him as their morale is shaken. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one attack from the archer because he's really the only one that has a range attack ready. So he's going to take one good pot shot here at Tommy.
Sure.
And that'll be a 20 to hit you.
That hits.
All right. For 6 damage
All
as
right.
another arrow penetrates your tender flesh.
Okay. I take that damage.
All right. Then I'm going to call that their turn because you've just created such complete disarray. And we're going to go to Zinnia.
Okay. Zinnia yells out to Gravelbeak, "You're really not listening," and then casts Rock Whip.
I have that one too.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Okay. What is Rock Whip?
well, so I think that this turn I can only just cast it. I don't think I can use it this turn.
Right.
So I'm just preparing for next time. I create a 15-foot long lash of crumbling crystal and earth. And it's treated as a non-magical whip that deals 1d8 bludgeoning damage. But it can pass through unworked stone effortlessly.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Armor and natural armor have no effect on the damage dealt by a rock whip.
You can also bull rush if you'd like.
Yeah, I don't
I
even
don't see that happening.
Yeah. But yeah.
That is crazy and interesting.
And you could use your caster level
Yeah, I get to use my caster level.
as your attack instead of your
Yeah.
strength modifier.
Okay, so
Yeah.
basically you conjure this whip into being this turn as
Yes.
your action.
Yes.
As this mystical crystalline whip,
Mm-hmm.
emerges from your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's neat. And you both have that spell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I got a theme going here.
I mean, I knew you had a theme. I was not expecting the fairy to break that out. That's really interesting.
I'm impressed.
Out
Daru
of
is
like
impressed as
1,000
well.
spells, you guys picked.
The rune's theme is earth magic.
Yeah.
And Zinnia's theme is how horrifying will you die from this?
I would like to see you do bull rush though once when you use it.
Okay, I'll think about it. But yeah, no, mine is like, oh, this is something that you can find in nature. It's rocks.
Right.
I like rocks too. Rocks are fun. So are snowballs.
One of my favorite TV quotes: "Nature is a very good killer of things."
It is.
I agree.
Like the wooden stick that I throw at people. That's nature. It's all nature. I kill things with nature.
That's on your resume, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole CV right there.
Yep.
Killed it. All right, so Zinnia has cast Rock Whip and then
I moved back.
back into the tunnel.
It was just like a threat.
All right. They are suitably threatened. Trunk, so you and Tommy, the only ones that are in the cavern proper. The others have made it into the tunnel. What do you do?
I look at Tommy. Mission complete?
Mission complete.
Okay, I will angle my back so Unda is pointing at Tommy. Would you take her? And skedaddle.
Certainly. I don't know how you want to do that functionally within turns.
Then I will just hold my action to move after Tommy does.
Okay, so basically, you'll ready in action to move after Tommy moves. Tommy will use a standard action to grab Unda, and then he will have a move action to move down the hall.
Correct.
Yeah, that is what we will do. And then
Trunk
basically, you can move up behind Darun easily.
The epic fairy trade.
Yeah, and Trunk is like plugging up the tunnel.
That
With Sanctuary.
was precisely my goal.
And then Trunk, as you're ready to action,
We can do it all.
You can then, you're basically the cork in
Back
the tunnel.
down the hole. Bottleneck corked.
Okay, that's fan-freaking-tastic. All right, then, Darun, you're finishing out the round here.
You're making it. I'm just going to, Corda's going to get her double move, so it's 100 feet. However you want to go at. She's just making sure nothing's ahead of us, and I'm just going to double move myself.
Okay, then I think what we're going to do is I'm considering, because at this point you guys can now all just double move with trunk bottlenecking. And I think what's going to happen is they're going to, Gravelbeak is going to get free of that and is going to just basically stand there kind of cursing obscenities down the hall, but he's not going to pursue.
Too many unknowns. We've obviously got tricks.
Well, it's the tricks and the fact that, he was really hurt. So I think self-preservation and dealing against these horrifying spellcasters that have just wreaked havoc on him, and, lots of people are dead. He looks back at the, injured tribe and making some vows about dealing with these interlopers in the future. So I think what we're going to do is let you guys get out of this place, double moving. So you've got 3 rounds of Sanctuary anyway. You guys, you'd already taken care of everybody along the way.
After 3 rounds, then that whole mess is clear. It's just nothing that left.
That would clear away.
Correct.
And then, but yeah, they made their own mess.
Sure.
Or Tommy did.
Mm-hmm.
As Gravelbeak is yelling and cursing about revenge and whatnot, I will just bellow loudly with sotto voce, echoing through the corridor or whatnot. This is what we are doing when we are trying not to kill you. Take your quarry elsewhere.
Give me a parting intimidation check. You have a lot backing this up because you have demonstrated a pretty substantial capacity.
Friend, that's a nat 2025.
Oh. Okay.
All for a fish.
Yeah, he really has to be balancing that out right now.
Yeah.
Like, how important is it to get this fish?
What do you think his wife has to say about this?
He promised her it was going to taste so good. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But now cousin Big Ears is dead.
Big Nose has a splitting headache.
Yeah.
And, things have gone awry. They've got
Yeah, because you guys killed 3 of them.
a mess in the entrance or by that rock pile that you set off.
Yeah. That trap had to take a while to set up, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. So, strong arm, big ears, and big nose dead. Everybody else injured in various degrees. And, Gravelbeak, well over half hits gone. So.
Yeah, but we left Fishbelly just fine. We just need to come untie him now. And can I have a short conversation with Fishbelly?
Yeah, so what we're going to do, because there's still going to be a level of urgency because obviously you don't really know what they're doing, is you guys rush out through, get out into the light, Unda in tow, and we'll just say you can kind of get out here to this initial little clearing where Fishbelly is still tied up to the tree that you tied him up to really nice and tight. And
Not that tight.
I'd like to say
I want to come back to a corpse.
I'm not feeling too well. Either is Corda.
And he sees you guys come out kind of covered in dust and blood.
I'm about to cast it on myself, and then slowly, and then you
you're
cast.
welcome to do it
No.
yourself if
I'm
you want
like
to be
intentionally
mediocre.
like, what were the words for that? I forget.
All right, so you pause there in front of Fishbelly, and it sounds like you wanted to say something to him.
18.
Thank you.
Okay, so Fishbelly, things didn't quite go like we had hoped. So we killed a few of your friends. Well, I don't know if they were your friends or not, but we've killed a few goblins. How did you feel about the guy with the really big nose and the really big ears?
You killed Big Nose and Big Ears?
Was that their names?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. How did you feel about them?
They tribe.
Oh, that doesn't mean anything. Come on.
I don't know. Friendish?
Okay, well, they're dead now, so I don't know, maybe that opened up a position for you? I don't know. So anyway, but yeah, so you can just like maybe tell your chief that, that we actually wanted things to go a little nicer, but maybe you should have more open door policy, but that we're still willing to negotiate and see if we can work things out. So he really should come meet us at the giant statue. Okay. Good luck. And we should take off.
Okay.
I might mumble. I hope you enjoyed the prank.
I take my healing back.
Oh, I get sick immediately. Throw up everywhere.
Okay. Well, you assuming then that you hoof it back over to the dried riverbed.
I will give some of my water to the water
Yeah, can I cast
fairy.
create water just so it's trickling over her?
Yeah, because I'm
You
afraid.
can.
Give me that.
You can. You absolutely can.
I'm afraid that she's
Yeah.
dying without water. So.
But not keep it away from me.
Yeah.
Sure.
No,
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a pour over. It just
Yeah.
looks like someone's pouring a bottle.
All right. So
over
you
her
pause
head.
at the riverbed to administer some water, which she seems to absorb and drink up readily, and then says, thank you for saving me. Who are you?
We're heroes.
Of the veil.
Yeah. It's kind of just a working title.
I'm not familiar with, but you are a fairy from the Hollywood?
Yes. Okay,
I
we're
raise my
gonna
hand. Me too.
we're walking. We're walking.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
moving and doing this.
Okay.
I need to get back to my spring. It is to the north.
It's to the north.
The spring.
It didn't start here.
No.
Son of a gun. All right, let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
We should have told him to meet there instead. Sorry, my
Oh,
bad.
now we got a lot of walking
We
to
didn't say
do.
when we'd be there.
It's true.
Yeah, I will throw up let's see, the Shepherd's Vale map here. There we go.
So, yeah. All right. So we're taking you up to your spring. So you're a fairy?
I'm a Nixie.
A Nixie?
Most people consider me to be a river fairy, but most people don't understand the ways of our people.
Yeah. A Nixie.
A Nixie. So
Sounds
is
a
that
lot-
closer to
Yeah.
If you say it drunk,
Sounds like one word. Sounds like
would you consider yourself closer to?
what's a Nixie?
Well, I think it's a water pixie.
I run away.
yeah. Pretty sure that's what.
Tell me about a Nixie.
You did see all the death that she does by snapping her fingers, right?
It's quite intimidating.
We are guardians of ponds and rivers and lakes and springs.
Do you like playing mean tricks on people?
No, I only protect my spring.
Okay. So you don't have wings though.
Oh no, I spend my time in the water.
That makes sense. So, Unda, yeah, people told me you were a fairy, and I was like, oh, I've never met a water fairy. So it was very confusing when that happened. But this is making a little bit more sense now why you don't have wings and why you can't fly if you're in the water all the time. Because if you're in the water all the time, then it would always be washing off the fairy dust, and so then you wouldn't be able to fly. And so then that would make a lot more sense why you wouldn't have wings, because it would be very impractical if your wings were wet all the time. And so that makes a lot more sense to me now than when I thought you would have wings, and then you didn't have wings, and when I
Whoa.
rescued you. So I
Whoa.
understand a lot
Now
more
you
now.
know how she casts these spells technically.
Just relax, Lydia.
No, this.
Take a minute.
So, Unda.
There we go.
So, Unda, okay, how did you get captured in the first place?
And you are walking.
Yes.
I assume you guys are probably walking as fast as you can.
Yes,
Yes.
we are.
A little bit faster after we started making pixie jokes.
Yeah, you're basically moving along the dry riverbank. Just, Tommy, are you still you're holding Unda? Yeah.
Does she look like she's injured or fatigued in any way?
Yeah, you would definitely think she's fatigued. And they didn't physically harm her, but it doesn't seem like they've probably taken great care of her, and she's definitely been drying out, which she's probably been taking the equivalent of stat damage.
Okay.
Like her life force is probably slowly draining away.
I'll give her a calming touch. It heals non-lethal, ends conditions such as... I have to read.
Dehydration.
Right, yeah. Ends, daze, stagger, fatigue, shaken, sicken.
Okay, so that will definitely help with the fatigue. I mean, she will kind of shiver and sigh a little bit at that, and with the water, she's perking up some. Most of the tribe surrounded the springs and lured me out, but I was not expecting the use of their traps. It was some very clever traps that they had and nets, and they were managed to pull me out of it. It was very unnerving. I'm not generally prone to violence, but I must confess I did drown a couple of them in the process.
So you know better for next time if they come back that you can drown them all.
I will certainly try.
They told you why they took you.
They said that they were, yes, the chief is something about the fish, Salvel.
Do you know Salvo?
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, okay. So you know he should not be eaten by goblins.
I think that we would all prefer he not get eaten by goblins or anybody.
Well,
It's like a prank that went too far. Nobody's laughing.
It was, pranks were done, and it carried on for a long time.
It's important to know when to stop.
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you talk to Savelle about that? I'm sorry.
No, do you have any influence over Salvel that might be you could convince him what harm his shenanigans?
I will try. I'll see if I can convince him to perhaps leave this area of the river and go south.
For his own safety.
Well, it's sort of what we've already set up. The idea that we moved Selville somewhere else. If that's the case, maybe this goblin will leave you alone anyway.
Well, hopefully he's learned something today.
How to set a broken bone, I'll imagine.
He needs more healers in his group.
All right, so it is about, if you ask her, it is about 2 miles to her spring.
Yeah.
It is still pretty early morning. I mean, the sun is rising. I'm going to say that, they're not going to get out with the bats. So you reach it. At some point, you're pretty sure you hear some like really distant shouts back the way you came. Maybe goblins are arguing. Maybe there's who knows what's going on, but it's pretty far away. But you think that situation is not fully resolved. But you make it to the spring. Because basically, as you go, though, the river, narrows a bit, and you kind of making your way up into the rocky foothills. And at one point, you cross over this really narrow, beautifully painted bridge to get to the other side of the river. You could have just walked across the dried bank at this point, but and then you reach where there is just a very large pool, so that's about 50 feet or so across, surrounded by rocks and trees, and it's actually extremely idyllic. It's almost like a natural oasis here, kind of up in the rocky foothills, where you feel like nature has just sort of condensed, and there's like, even though it's all drying out, and you can see like there's the flowers are still in bloom because it's rained, so it's like things aren't completely parched. But you see the remnants of this spring where it's there's still about like a 10-foot wide basin of water that is just sort of barely bubbling, and it hasn't filled up to pour out into the river and, create the river. And, but all of you who are particularly Fey touched, just, you have a sense of calm as you step into this little area. And Zinni, you specifically have that connection you feel like with the Hollowwood. Truk, and he's like, oh yeah, it's like a little piece of home here. And you can just sense that there's a lot of magic just reverberating through the rocks and the water and the trees. And as you carry her gently up there, she's like, please just lower me in.
Okay. No, don't do that.
So you lower her down and let her slide into the water. And you can see almost like little magic, glitter sort of like radiates around her. Like it's like immediately the water just responds to her presence. And then the whole pool begins to shimmer as she dives down out of sight and disappears. And you guys end up like waiting for probably a couple minutes. Like, is this going to happen? Like, what's going to happen? And you're looking at each other, and then you feel the ground rumble a bit. And then it's like a geyser as the entire pool begins to just rapidly fill back up, and then begins like a torrential rush down into the river. Almost and it quickly creates like this waterfall of just water just gushing out and flooding down the riverbanks. After a few more minutes, she comes up and surfaces and looks at all of you. At that point, she's just radiant and healthy again and smiling at you. And she just says, oh, thank you so much. Everything can hopefully go back to normal now. You saved me.
We were glad to help.
We also saved people down the river too. You're part of this whole large ecosystem, and they rely on you.
It feels good.
Do you feel safe here, or should we stay around a little bit and make sure the goblins don't come back for you?
Yeah, I pull arrows out of me at that time.
Yeah.
Just occurs to me that I didn't heal myself.
I should be safe. And
Especially
I
now
will.
that you know that they'll be looking for you, possibly.
I will also see that I send word to the Ermine King to let him know that what has gone on here is a crime against the Fae, and perhaps he can maybe exert some influence to seek retribution. I have little to give you in the way of material rewards, but I can give you my thanks and my blessing if you would each come and let me grant it to you.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
So if you will, she'll if you come back down by the water, she will offer to give each of you a kiss on the forehead.
Thought we were going to be baptized.
Sure.
That works too.
I'll get a forehead kiss.
All right.
I'll take off my hat.
I watched
Certainly
nervously at Zinnia, another fairy kissing a man.
She will guess. So when she does, she gives you the kiss on the forehead. You feel just like a burst of
Healing energy.
well, it's not healing, but it is
A level?
Leveled?
you could just like feel like this radiance like coursing through you,
Sure.
and the net result is that you are you get the fairy's blessing, which is +1 to all saves for the next 30 days.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So in game time, that's probably like next
Right.
season. So fairy's blessing +1 to all saves for 30 days. But if you do ask her about healing, she actually will cast another spell on a blackberry bush that's near, like in this little oasis here. And it's the equivalent of goodberry. And
Okay.
she will generate 11 goodberries. Oh, yes, you see each time. Okay. But they last more than a day.
Hmm.
These actually will also last 30 days.
Wow.
So they're special. So they'll heal I mean, they heal 1 point.
I mean, if they're going to last that long, do you want to keep them for later? And I've still got spells left.
Yeah, that will be fine. How many of them again?
So it's 11 special good berries. We'll have to keep track of the time. And that is what she can offer you.
I will take the kiss, of course, and say, how do you feel about kissing wolves? She loves kisses. She loves
Aw.
puppy kisses,
She will kiss the wolf.
of course.
And the fox.
And
too.
her face will get licked.
Yay! Well, yes, of course, Nipper wants a kiss too.
Well, I wish you all but the best. And hopefully the goblins don't cause you too much trouble. Wait, I said that wrong. All but the best. I wish you the
I would
best.
like to do insights.
I wish I all the second best. I need some of the best for someone else.
Sorry. Yes, good luck and stay safe. And thank you so much again.
Thank you, Unda. It was so exciting to meet you. I've never met a Nixie before, but now I know that Nixies are not pixies, and Nixies are good, and that there's one other thing. What was it? Oh,
Well, you should come back and see me anytime you want.
Oh, thank you. This is a wonderful place. I love it here. It is so nice.
I assume we still feel kind of that.
Oh, wait, I remembered. Sorry, Trunk. Sorry.
Go on.
I remembered. It's that, and the other thing is, and I hope you learned that it's okay to drown goblins.
That's our lesson for today.
Especially if they can't swim, it's kind of on their own, volition. Yes, saying you are very welcome, but please be safe yourself and talk to Sibel, please.
I will talk to him. If
Thank
you see him first, encourage him to come see me.
Will do.
What was Trunk saying? Sorry,
Trunk was saying something. He's like
Yes.
waiting impatiently.
He assumed something for a long time.
Trunk is a patient man. I assume we still feel that like heavy presence of like Fey magic in this area.
Yeah.
Unda, could I ask to take a flask of your spring water?
Of course.
Then I shall do so.
Okay. Then, yeah, you fill up a flask.
Well, should we head out to the giant statues?
Yes, let's go. But we should be aware of running into any of the goblins on our way back.
Well, there's a bridge up here. Could we get on the other side of the river?
Yeah, so
So if they see us, it's going to make it harder for them.
But then how would you guys cross? I mean, I can cross.
Well, there's a bridge.
yeah, so basically there's a
here.
little bridge that you didn't ask her what it was for, but
Sure.
normally it's clearly some people use it to cross the river up
Mhm.
somewhat near the spring.
Right.
And you kind of crossed it to get on the east side of the river just
Oh,
because
I
it
see
was an
what you're
easier
saying.
access to the spring. But going back, since the giants are on the other side.
I got what you're saying. Yes.
However,
It all clicked when you were.
you could not cross over and just go back home on the east side. And then if the goblins spot you, at least you have a little barrier to maybe.
That's what
Sure.
my thinking was, but I understand what you're saying.
I
now.
guess my question is, why do we want to meet with the goblin chieftain again?
Well, because we want them to stop doing this. We want them not to try and capture Unda again. We want them to stop trying to harass the town. We
Enough of these hijinks and tomfoolery.
Yeah.
Right. So you're hoping that through talking to them, we can persuade or intimidate them into backing down.
Yes, and if not, then we kill them.
Okay, but you said come alone. He's not going to. That would be beyond foolish.
Well, I know, but
So what happens when he shows up and he's like, well, what will you give me? And we go, we don't have anything to give you.
we give you your lives.
Yeah.
But if they are outnumbering us,
They might have their bat friend doing like a little flyover toot for recon. I mean, we can certainly meet them there, but
I feel we'll be walking into a very bad situation that we
All right. Well, then you
admittedly
come up
did
with
pretty
the
well
better
escaping.
idea.
My better idea is just not dealing with them, and if they do something again down the road, we'll figure it out. This time around, Unda knows what to do, and you've already given her some great let's drown them advice.
So, what do we think about how they'll react to the townspeople? Because we can move Seville, yeah?
Well, maybe. So they'll probably.
If Seville doesn't want to move, then that's that. But
Well, I mean, the chieftain maybe thinks that we moved him. If he doesn't
right,
believe that,
but
no biggie.
I'm thinking more about the townspeople. Will they become? Because before it was more of just hijinks and fun, but will they become more aggressive? I
It's
think
possible.
Well, it sounds like you guys have a lot to think about.
Hmm.
Whether or not you're going to pursue negotiations, violent or otherwise, with the remaining tribe. But you do have a reward now back at the town. And you still have people to talk to. You could still go to the inn, could stay the night. You've got your horses to go find. What will we do?
So many options.
So many options. But you made it through 2 back-to-back episodes of pretty intense combat.
Yeah.
And I applaud you.
Yeah, we work well together.
You did. I saw a lot of good synergy. So we are going to find out what you're going to do next time, though.
Next time.
Next time.
Good job, guys.
Bum, bum, bum.
Or like bird sounds, because we're in this really beautiful Fey area.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to take like a nap.
are we going to nap before we move on?
I mean, if you want to take a nap anywhere, this would be the place to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe have some water.
Yeah. Like napping. Oh, yeah. That was one of my favorite naps.
Mm.
It was like there's this large flat rock in the middle of the stream, and the sun was just kind of coming down through the trees. And I was on a hike, and I just like laid down in the middle of this stream on this big flat rock, and it was nice.
Sound of the water.
Yeah, and the sun was warming it, and it was just perfect.
That's what I'm thinking.
That was a great nap.
Sounds like it. Nature doesn't always kill. That's just more of that story.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're enjoying listening to our story as much as we are telling it. As we're winding down both this season and this year, I'd like to ask once more if you could, please tell at least one friend what you like about us. We have exciting things in store for next year, and it would be really helpful to have more people coming along with us on the journey. And if you are going out on your own adventure, remember, coordinated teamwork can overcome the most dangerous of odds. Stay safe out there.